Hello and welcome to TMSM Weekly Live.
Hi everyone, happy Monday.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Go ahead, I'll let you give your little spiel.
My spiel. Okay, hi. So, as usual, if you would be so kind and to share this video with your friends, we really would appreciate it because
Facebook sucks. I'll just say it.
Okay, that's not what I was going to say. He's not wrong. But yeah, anyway. And also, please be sure to write in the comments where you are watching from so we can see how far our reach is. And if you are watching the replay, tell us where you're from and type replay so we can see. So, what you doing? Why are you typing?
Because I'm putting where I'm watching it from.
Oh, you don't need to get such a shirt.
She never lets me have any fun.
Okay, so we have a very full show for you tonight, and you want to stick around towards the end because we do have some announcements.
Big announcements.
Well, they're big announcements, but they're kind of vague announcements. They're like announcement teasers. Would you say that?
Yeah.
I would say they're announcement teasers. Yeah. I mean, there's still going to be stuff that you're going to want to hear.
So don't mute us till 7:45 and don't do that.
Yeah, you might want to stick around, but we'll see.
So, can I do my little spiel?
You go right ahead.
Hello, welcome to TMSM Weekly Live, show number 120 for March 28th, 2022. I'm Scott.
I'm Michelle.
And like she said, we do have a lot of things to get through, but first, you want to go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, okay, so I know that we do our show very silly and scattered, and we're going to get to silly and scatteredness, of course, and probably some food. But we wanted to start off by talking about the accident that happened last Thursday at the Orlando Freefall at Icon Park, which is only about 10-15 minutes from us.
Yeah, it's not too far at all.
A young boy, Tyree Sampson
Yes.
is his name. He passed away at the age of 14. Now, we didn't really talk about this on our pages and such because I just felt like the video of this tragedy was going everywhere. We kind of didn't want to add more salt to the wounds for the grieving family and for so many people with children. It was gut-wrenching to see. I actually was scrolling news on Twitter, and I had my settings on auto feed, and as I was scrolling, I happened to see this terrible video. It should have never happened. It's really shook our community, and I know it's shaking communities everywhere. But from a theme park perspective, it raises a lot of questions, and I probably should have talked to you about this before we went live because I have all these thoughts about it swirling in my head. First things first, though, the morning we had found out, you remember last month we participated in the Amazing Race Orlando. It was one of our challenges, this Orlando free fall. Now this free fall tower is what, over 400 feet?
430 or is it 4? I think it's 430 feet tall. You drop at 72 miles per hour till about 75 feet or so left, and then it slows down. It did come to a sudden stop for us, but they do say it does kind of slow down and then brings you down the rest of the way. The thing is when you get to the top at the 430 feet, you spin around a few times and you look over the city, but then it leans you out a 30-degree angle, so you're actually facing towards the ground at that level, and then it drops. Well, it did. It's done now. It's not going to be dropping any longer, which is good. But this really, because we woke up, and every morning we both wake up, we grab our phones and check to see what news we may have missed, and we saw that. And it hit home for both of us. We were literally just on the ride a month ago.
And I try to keep everything in a positive light, but I really want to be honest with you as far as my opinions as this ride. I didn't want to go on it. I was scared. You were scared because of the harnesses, because he's tall.
Yeah, I've always had a fear of any ride. Most of you know I used to be way larger than I am now. And I always had that fear of the restraining bars not holding me in or giving way, because you put the bar down, you hear one click, and it's like, is that enough? I mean, if my weight really pushes it, it's going to snap. So I've always had that fear, and I'm 6'3", 250 pounds now. And I still have that fear in my head that something's going to happen. When I scaled down the side of the building for the Amazing Race, I was scared to death, and they assured me the ropes would hold my weight, but it was still that fear of what could happen and what if. And reading what the parents have said about Tyree, that he got in the ride and he looked at his friends, and as they started to go up, he told them something doesn't feel right, and tell my mommy and daddy I love them. And that broke my heart to read that, because he knew there was something wrong. He knew that it wasn't right for what was going on. He was here with his football team for a football event here in Orlando. His parents weren't with him. They were back in Missouri still. And I feel my heart goes out to them, because I can't even imagine what they're going through. They had a balloon release earlier as a memorial.
Yeah, we were just watching it. Just hearing what he said about his parents makes me cry, because he's just a baby. Yes, he was a big boy, but he was a baby.
He was 6'5". They said I think he was 350 around that for weight wise, but he was a big football player. He was an honor roll student. This kid had a lot going good for him, and have his life taken away so quickly, it's heartbreaking.
This ride, when we went on it, I think because we were doing this for charity, for Give Kids the World, and I'm a bit of a daredevil. I scare my parents sometimes with some of the stuff that I do. But I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, they just opened this ride in December. It's a brand new ride, state of the art. What's going to go wrong? And we were there, doing this charity event. And in my head, I'm thinking, caught up in the moment, like, we're safe. It's fine. And
especially with it being new, you don't think
right. It's only a couple months old. And I will say the truth. Now, when Scott told you that you lean forward and you drop at 72 miles an hour and you come to a stop. Now, they say you slow down. I bruised my ribs because I'm smaller than him. My whole body flew forward. My hair flew forward. And I felt like I got punched in the chest, because it stops you that abruptly. And when they put the brakes on that, his harness gave out, and that's when he fell. Not from the top, but when they stop you. And that's the part that bruised my ribs. And I think that's why I was so angry, because for something state of the art like that, it shouldn't have come to a jerky stop like that. They should have checked those restraints. Something had just come out right before we went live that the maximum weight on that ride was what,
286 was the maximum. My News 13, which is Spectrum's local channel here, just put out something, and one of our friends who runs another site shared it, and it said that the max weight for the ride was 286, and if he was 330 or 350, he was way over.
That ride? They shouldn't have allowed it.
And I heard somebody say something about he wasn't allowed to ride any of the other rides, and they kind of told him, "Oh, you can do this ride," and the fact that you heard some people had said that they didn't see the light come on or off. I can't remember which one it means it's locked. I had that experience happen on Mako years ago.
At SeaWorld.
Where I got on the ride for Mako and I put the bar down and it clicked once and I felt so scared. I said, "Get me off of this now." And I would not, I held up the ride to get off of it because I was that scared. But here he is, young kid.
Having a good time.
And probably scared, but scared to say anything too out loud, maybe. I don't know how outspoken he was.
It shouldn't happen. And the thing is, a lot of these, if you are up to date on like the theme park community and all the new things that are being built, not just Disney, but all over the place, a lot of these new rides don't have a seatbelt lock. Yeah. They're just automatically like, what is that holds you into place?
It's just a over the shoulder harness restraint.
But it stops and it's like a smooth stop. It doesn't even click like a hard click. Yeah. It just kind of stops. And for these, usually they push it down. It's got to push 3 times. If it doesn't push 3 times, it's not in. Because you'll see a ride operator go around and if you are close to that limit, if they can't push you into that 3rd click, then you're not allowed to ride.
At Cedar Point, I was taken off rides with you. They actually took me. They couldn't click it back when we lived in Michigan and went to Cedar Point. And one of the rides I got on, Wicked Twister. And they couldn't click mine on, and they asked me they took me off the ride because they could not get the click to feel safe enough for me to ride it. So it's scary. And I was actually reading something today in the Universal group came up about the Velocicoaster, and they said what the safety restraints in the Velocicoaster, what makes it different. And an engineer actually piped in there, and he said, so when the restraint locks, inside there's a second mechanism that prevents it from unlocking.
Okay.
So he said there's like, so the lock goes down, but then there's a lock on the lock. So it's double locked. So that's why Velocicoaster says this would never happen on it, because the ride is a double locked restraint that can't.
And we're just, we're speculating because they haven't done a thorough investigation as to what or who is at fault. Was it the ride attendants that didn't check him? Is it faulty machinery on the new ride? But you get this false sense of security because something is new. It's at a big park. They don't want to have like the liability, for God forbid, if something goes wrong. So it just, none of this makes any sense whatsoever. And I think it's a wake up call for a lot of people. And here's where I'm going to go off on a tangent for a second and tie Disney back in because we are primarily Disney. But you see all the time, cast members, they have to enforce rules. Especially lately, because everybody's been crabby for about two and a half years.
Yeah.
And it just gets worse. So, you go to the park and cast members are doing their job. Please don't step over this line. Please don't sit on these stairs. Please, your child is too short. And then people pad their kids' shoes because they want their kid to experience a mine train or something. But they're telling you can't for a reason. And it's not the cast member's fault. It's safety protocols that they have to follow. And I think
and usually those protocols are set by the manufacturer, not by the park.
Right.
And so when Disney says that, because we've heard of people that put things in shoes of kids to make them half an inch taller, that gets them over and yes, they're close to the minimum, but there's a minimum and a maximum for a reason. And to take that risk with your child, is it worth it to ride a 2-minute ride? No, never worth it.
And a lot of times, I would imagine that maybe people that work amusement, parks and such, get tired of being hassled by guests. Like, they're not trying to ruin your vacation. They're trying to keep you safe.
Yeah.
And whether somebody's too big for a ride or too small for a ride or isn't allowed in a certain area, there's reasons. And I think that, this is also a wake-up call for other people that go to theme parks to be kind, because, people are just trying to do their jobs. Now, was this the ride attendants? Did they do their job at Icon Park? I don't want to say, but I'm saying in generally speaking, people do try, and they're just doing what they're supposed to do.
And somewhere along the line, something was missed in this, obviously. Michelle and I actually met the gentleman who works for the company that puts these rides. He helps with the PR and such with that for the company. I haven't talked to him since all this happened because I didn't want to add to his plate, because I'm sure he's very overwhelmed right now with everything. And I can't imagine being him and having to come out and speak to the family, speak to the press, speak to the media. When I woke up the next day and I saw the article and I saw his name all throughout the article, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine being in his shoes at that point.
And this guy who's all over the news now, it's not his ride. He works for the company.
He works for the company. He helps them with media relations and such like that.
And he's a really nice guy, and I feel sorry for him. I mean, he's one of the first people that gave us media access to something when we first got to town years ago, when they were building what was the Orlando Eye back then. I don't even know what the wheel is called now.
It's called the Icon, but it wasn't even started to be built yet. The building was
just a base.
And he took us and showed us everything when we first moved here. And he was from Ohio, so we're from Michigan, so we had a lot to talk about and such. And it just kind of hit it off. And he's always been a friend of ours. And then eventually he left the Icon and went to this company to work for them doing this. And I feel horrible for him having to deal with this.
And we talked to him the day we were there for the Amazing Race. And, I asked him because I was scared to go on the drop. And he's like, it's exhilarating. It's such, they had such excitement for these new attractions that opened at Icon Park. And now it's all just gone. So anyway, I guess our whole point is that before we talked, we wanted to send our condolences to the family. And maybe, I don't know what the lesson is here. All I know is that it's really heartbreaking and, makes you stop and think about what's really important in life and about what's to sweat about small stuff or big stuff. And what happened to this child is horrendous. And we are just, again, sending our prayers to his family.
Prayers. They need them right now, and if everybody can give them thoughts and prayers, they need them.
Please.
Big time, I can't imagine going through. And I guess the lesson here would be learned that we're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not guaranteed to see that person you say goodbye to today again. So just always keep that in mind. Try not to get angry with people for silly reasons. Try not to just go down that path. Just take every minute as it comes and don't waste it.
Right. So, all right. Thank you for letting us talk about that. I had people ask me about this whole thing, and I figured if we addressed it at the beginning, and that it would be, out of respect, and that we could get on with our show and talk about some more pleasant things. But yeah, so there's that.
Okay, let's move on. Let's go to something else.
You have notes too. Do you want to go?
I don't have any notes really. Go with your notes.
Okay, so this, we haven't seen you guys in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So I wanted to, before we got into it, a whole lot of just chatter and silliness. So there's a few things that were announced that are coming back. One being minivans. Now they didn't give a date on said minivans, but they said summer.
It's just funny because I've been saying all along, they're coming back, they're moving them. No, we're not bringing them back. And I kept seeing them in the Epcot, and they'd move a couple aisles every couple weeks.
Oh yeah, everybody kept saying, oh, they're gone for good, but they were.
If they're gone for good, then why are they still at Epcot?
Yeah, they've been in the parking lot. So in the back of the parking lot, maybe you're not supposed to know them.
They're gonna put them in test track as the new ride.
Yeah, right.
As the new ride cars.
So those are coming back. They also announced H2O Glow Nights at Typhoon Lagoon are coming back, which the last time we had Glow Nights was 19.
Oh my gosh.
19, wow. So, and if you remember correctly, that was the evening party with Party Source Rex as a DJ.
It's actually a fun little party if you go there, and they have good food, they have the music playing, they got lighting going on.
I thought it was fun.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. So hopefully we get to go back and attend it this year and check it all out. And if not, maybe we'll just have to go one night and have fun there.
Yeah, as long as, I'm a big baby when it comes to water parks, because I don't like to be cold. So if it's a hot evening in Florida, I'm all for it.
It's gotta be 90 degrees, the sun shining.
I don't like to be cold. How do you guys with water parks? I mean, either you love them or you're a little. I like them. I like a good lazy river. I like it when it's got to be like 85 or hotter, or else I'm just kind of like, I don't know. But I would do glow nights again. That was fun. And they had specialty food and drinks and glow cubes, because they put glow cubes in everything in the evening.
That was the first place I did a meatless burger, and I didn't know it.
Burger.
I didn't even know what it was at the time, and I ate it. I was like, "Wow, that's a really good burger." And she goes, "It's meatless, right?" I'm like, "I don't care what it is. It's really good."
Now that's a good burger if it doesn't taste like it's not a real burger.
It was good. They knew how to season it and put the right toppings in it.
And that was at the water park.
That was at a water park. It was.
Usually water park food is hit or miss.
I know, we were there for the media event. I almost grabbed another one. Three of them.
Bring Tupperware with us when we go, right?
There's some to-go boxes.
To-go box. No kidding. You don't never ask for a to-go box. So
Scarlett, you don't like to be cold and you grew up in Michigan?
All right, Scarlett, you're totally called me out. Now, in my defense, I hated cold in Michigan too. That's why I live in Florida. Well, part of the reason. But when you move here, you lose your cold weather cred. You really do. I get cold. Last night.
They do.
Well, you're different. But last night we were taking a boat ride back. We're going to talk about trails on in a minute. But from the campgrounds back over to the front of Magic Kingdom, and it was cold last night. Now, what's funny is that us Floridians, minus him, are freezing, and you can tell who was vacationing here from up north. They had tank tops and sweatshirts.
They must have all thought I was a vacationer because.
Right, but like for me and like my younger son, he was like, "Mom, I'm cold." I sat there holding Aiden like this on the boat ride home because he was freezing. It was cold last night.
I was fanning myself because I was warm.
It was cold, but anyway, how do we go from glow nights to Impossible Burgers to cold weather? Do you see how we jump around?
It's a hot mess.
It's just a hot mess, isn't it? Always, though.
Well, since you've already started talking about it, you might as well talk about last night. No.
No.
Okay.
I still have to go back to. All right. So, HHN tickets, Halloween Horror Nights went on sale this week. Now they have not announced the houses. There's like speculation maps going around now of what people are guessing some of the houses might be, but there's no details. So they're just kind of teasing it out and then putting out dates. And there's always so much buzz about Halloween Horror Nights.
There is. I love Halloween Horror Nights. We didn't get to go last year, and I'm still bummed about it. So we actually upgraded our Universal passes so we could get the free ticket to go, and the other amenities that came with it. And then we ended up letting our Universal passes go away because we just didn't go enough.
Well, we had a lot going on last fall.
We're going to definitely have to go get the Fear Pass and maybe go a few times this coming year.
Yeah, maybe.
I think because it's a lot of fun. You don't have to go in the houses if you really are scared to death of the houses. Just that you don't even have to go to them. The scare zones aren't that bad. They're not that bad, honestly. If you look scared, then you're in trouble because that's when they're going to get you. They will.
But I think they even know when you're pretending to not look scared.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like if you try to put on a brave front, like I'm fine, this doesn't bother me. I think they know.
Yeah, but if you're laughing at the people in front of you as they jump and get scared,
David just said, I heard there's going to be a Will Smith house. I
can't. Get sucker punched in the face.
You get a free slap upon entry.
No, I'm not even going to go there.
Oh my God. I just looked down.
The house is going to look like the Bel Air Mansion from
Oh my gosh, David. You win. You win comment of the day. It's so funny. Okay, sorry. You threw me. I looked down. I was like, what?
I know. I was thinking somebody looked on me.
Sorry. That's good. Okay.
All I know is if I was Chris Rock, Will Smith would have not walked back down those stairs.
Okay, it's enough. Okay, anyway, okay, so 8 to 10. Oh, and also they are building a new DVC tower at the Poly, which when we put out that information, people were mad. I mean, I was like,
we lost the luau.
Oh yeah, because the what do they call that? It's a luau, yeah. But it was
I can't remember.
Somebody tell me the name of that dinner because I cannot remember right now.
Somebody's gonna know it.
Somebody will know. I know it too. That's the thing, and I'm like totally.
See what happens when we don't take right notes. We forget stuff.
I told you we were scattered tonight. We had a lot to talk about. Aloha dinner. Aloha. Spirit of Aloha.
Spirit of Aloha dinner.
Did I get it?
I believe that was it. Yep, Spirit of Aloha.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I knew I was right there. I hate it when that happens.
And what I'm mad about is we never did go to it. I always wanted to, but somebody sitting next to me doesn't eat pork or anything like that. I know that's a big part of it. I know there's chicken and stuff like that, but I know that's a big part of the whole thing that somebody next to her doesn't eat bacon or anything like that. So we didn't ever go, and now I'm wishing we really would have just gone one time.
If I would like to go, I would like maybe get a pina colada and sit and enjoy the show, but I'm not eating any pork or anything. But anyway, that's not the point. The DVC tower. So as you know, I do read comments like on everything because I'm just that person. Whenever we put out controversy, which lately all the news is like controversial. And as soon as we hit publish, I'm like, oh God, help me, because the comment section are going to go sideways, and they always do. Always do. So when we put that out about the tower, a lot of the comments that the most popular negative comments were that a tower takes away from the whole feel of the Polynesian resort. How it's supposed to look like Polynesian, like bungalows, and the whole theme of the resort. They feel like a big fancy tower is going to take away from the originality of what it was when it opened and what it continued to be.
I fully agree. It does not fit. The Contemporary Tower, Bay Lakeshore Tower.
Right.
The Floridian doesn't have a tower. Why does Poly have to have a tower?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Also, you're building more rooms. We already have capacity issues in the parks, and now you're inviting even more people to be on property. Build a 5th park. Quit building hotel rooms, because I am so tired of the crowds at these parks. It's getting out of hand. And you can't go to the park. It's almost like they're putting more people in the park, so you have to buy the lightning lane if you want to.
I believe it.
Yep.
You got to understand, we're very anti-lightning lane and Genie Plus, so you have to keep that in mind when we speak. And also another DVC tower. Let's just face it, DVC rooms are expensive. And it's already expensive to go to some of the resorts as it is, and then putting another DVC tower, which you know is going to be expensive to stay there. And then last night we are going to get to Trails On, but we took the ferry boat, which I love that boat ride, by the way, from front of Magic Kingdom over to the campgrounds, and the boat goes past where River Country was.
Mm-hmm.
And how that whole area was leveled, backyard barbecue. No. They got rid of River Country because the resort was supposed to go back there.
DVC resort.
A DVC resort. And now there's nowhere on that either. Sorry. Jack. Sorry. Miss Ava's upstairs under wraps, but Jack usually is behaving. But yeah, so like there's no, like that got stopped, and it's really kind of sad if you go over to the campground because it's like a deserted like construction zone back there. There's a big pile of dirt. There's
a lot of fencing with the green drapes that look like flop leaves.
Do you guys remember there was a resort that went back? See, this is all pre-COVID stuff that they had all these ideas and what they were going to do with the area back there. And I was trying to remember.
Reflections.
Reflections. Thank you, Randy. That's right. I remember when you could take a golf cart back there. What?
Rob said Jack's mad about the DVC tower too.
Jack is super annoyed about that DVC tower.
I like that. Shane said a retro kingdom. Like go back to the retro with all the because they're doing all the retro stuff.
They are doing a lot of retro stuff.
Yeah. Be the retro park, or when they take I don't know. There's a lot. There's so many options they could do. I just wish they would do something to alleviate the crowds because they say we're never going to get back to pre-COVID capacities. We're close because these lines are ridiculous. And I do believe they're inflating the times on the waits. I don't think they're accurate.
Most people say they're not accurate.
Yeah, but it's just too many.
I mean, I just don't think that more resorts are needed. But what do I know? Nobody listens to me anyway. But
what'd you say?
I see. I think more entertainment is a better idea, like you said. How cool would it be to have another park? And if you think about all the cool attractions, like, we've talked many times that we've never been overseas to, but the parks overseas, like, Tokyo and, Shanghai, they have some of the state-of-the-art attractions there and some things that we don't have. Like, they could take some of that really cool stuff and do another park, I think.
Well, the funny thing is Disney always brags, we have room for 2 to 3 more parks easily.
Then do it.
Then do it. Quit saying it. If you have it, then do it. Don't brag about it because that's just annoying. Where you got Universal down the street building Epic Universe, and they've already said there's room for 2 parks over there. So it's like, I think Universal, the competition is awesome because if Universal keeps building up, Disney's going to have to stay running with that. And if Universal gets up to 4 and 5 parks, what's Disney going to do? They're going to have to. They're going to have no choice.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Competition is not ever a bad thing.
No, and it kind of works out better for us if they're trying to outdo each other than us as vacation goers and theme park goers. We kind of reap the benefits of that because we get to do some really fun stuff.
Right.
And it's funny because I also saw David, Mr. Comment of the Day, said something about having a park that's all extinct attractions.
Yeah.
Like how I love it. That ties in with your retro idea.
Well, no, that was Shane's retro.
Oh, Shane's retro idea. Okay, Shane. You and David are on the same page there. And I posted a video yesterday or Saturday. I don't remember, my days run together. But I like we've talked about before, I have a million videos and stuff on my phone. And I posted a little glimpse of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride from when we were in Disneyland last August. And I wrote something on that post like, do you remember when we had it at Walt Disney World? And I know it scared me when I was a kid, but
because you go down there.
Because you HE double hockey stick, which I didn't know at the time. But
I think it's hilarious.
It's so a little bit funny. Poor Mr. Toad. He just could catch a break. Jail. The whole thing. Anyway, but if they did something like that, they could bring back Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. They could bring back, like, look at Disneyland per se. They have some of the classics over there.
They do, but how do you determine like what retro ride? They took them out for a reason. either they weren't functioning as well anymore.
But now they have technology to make them better.
I know, you just have to redo the rides with today's technology.
20,000 leagues
just use the same idea, but with today's technology. It might work. It might do really well. Who knows? I think it'd be cool if they could bring back some of the retro parades.
Oh, yes.
So if you go there, you can see
Spectrum Magic.
Yeah, or Main Street Electrical Parade, Spectro. It'd be kind of cool for that reason. If they really wanted to do something like that, I think there's so many options they could do. I still think we're going to need more marble here. We need a marble land or something like that, so it needs room for that.
Weren't you and Corey talking about that last night about?
I've had an idea for marble.
About marble, like more marble.
Oh yeah, I have an idea for a marble park that I think will never happen, but it'd be cool.
But seriously, it looks like from the comments that you guys would be down for a retro park.
So let's do a GoFundMe. We'll raise the funds. We'll need about $80 million to get us started. So
we get a petition for, maybe Disney would do that. But seriously, if you think about it, like especially right now, because Disney has their vault collection, and it's all about like merchandise that's themed for the 70s and 80s. I think that there's really a need or a demand for that right now. Everything is all about the retro feel.
And what about having a place where you put the Osborne lights back?
I
mean, there's just so much stuff they could do, and if you're going to sit there and say you have the property to do it in, and they definitely have the availability of people down here who would work. There is people here to work. I think it could work. I think they could do something, but they're obviously hiring people to build these hotels, and people have to work in the hotels. So what's the difference if they use these people to build parks?
I'm really kind of excited about the idea of a retro park.
And the other thing, why are you moving Imagineering to here from California if you're not going to do more over here?
I don't know.
I mean, that's a good question. Why are you moving all the Imagineering headquarters to Florida if you're not going to do more to expand? I mean, hopefully that's one of the reasons they're doing it, because they do stuff we have no idea, and then 3 years later we're like, oh,
that's why they did that.
Makes total sense. So I guess we can see what happens.
But it's as far as things progressing, yesterday we took a ride on the People Mover and got a better look at Tron. Now Tron, the last time we were there a few weeks back and did the People Mover, they didn't have so if you've seen pictures, they have the big, what would you call it, like a canopy?
It is, that's exactly what it is.
It's a canopy that goes over on it. And then the track goes underneath it,
yes. But
they have a big cement walkway where you can see where people are going to walk out of the ride now. It's really exciting. I mean, I know everyone keeps saying that Tron is taking forever, but I actually could see the progress.
What was it that Corey said something yesterday? Because that's who we were with. We were Corey and his family. He said it's taken longer to build Tron than what it took to build the Magic Kingdom.
Is that true?
Tron is at 4 years.
Is it really?
Yeah, Magic Kingdom was started in the late 60s and was done by 71, so it's about...
Can somebody fact check that? Because we're going by Corey Tucker's...
Well, Walt died in 66, and they had just started here not too long ago, so maybe it was 5 years, but Tron still...
To build the whole Magic Kingdom?
It started in, 64? So that would be 7 years from then until it opened in 71. I know Walt passed, that kind of slows up a little bit, but not too bad, but it's got to be something. I mean, that includes clearing, that includes building the waterways and all that. So maybe once the land was ready to start building. I know Disneyland, they did, 2 years?
I think. They did it pretty quick.
Yeah, so Tron was announced in 17 at D23, wasn't it?
Wasn't it 19?
I don't think so, because that means it just started construction, then we went in COVID.
Why aren't we talking about things that we have no idea? Just ignore us, right? We don't really have, we're talking speculation, not all out facts.
I'm excited about Tron, because I've watched the videos of the one overseas, and everybody who I know has rode the ride absolutely loves it. They say it's the best ride they've ever rode.
It looks short.
It looks short, but we don't know what's inside that ride, though.
I've heard it's a short ride. And it looks short. The coaster track itself doesn't look long on the outside. Now, again, we don't know what's going on the inside. I'm excited just to have something new. Yeah. Okay, Samantha said, I just looked. Magic Kingdom took 18 months. Wow. Okay, Liz, too. Thank you.
Yeah.
18 months.
So even if they announced Tron in 19, we're 3 years into that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, granted, they're doing Guardians at the same time. Those are two big attractions. I mean, Guardians building is huge over at.
And that's what I told Corey last night. So we got to remember during COVID, they actually stopped at one point.
Renee said 1 year to build Disneyland. Okay, so our points are right then. We weren't totally off base. So that's good to know.
But Seven Dwarfs took 3 years, I think, or 2.5 years when they built that. And it's not because of building the ride. In Disney, I've talked to Imagineers, it's about the theming. And they want to get the theming just right. So they have to go in there, they build the ride. Then they come back and they do all the theming around the ride to make it come together the right way. Perfect example is Expedition Everest. They had to build that in sections. They built the Yeti, they built the coaster, they built the mountain, and that's why to fix it they got to disassemble the mountain. They got to take apart the track to fix the Yeti to build it all back because it's built in sections.
Yeah, when we were at Animal Kingdom, it was the first time we had gone. We went last week, and we had gone since like last spring. And Expedition Everest is down right now for refurb.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that the kids asked was, "Are they finally fixing the Yeti?"
Rob said groundbreaking day, May 30th. So that was when they broke ground.
Okay.
For it, and then they went from there. So it's just amazing that it's taken that long to build Tron. But again, I think it was because they went down during COVID, so you lost a year or whatever. Because
But it's taking forever over at Epcot too.
It's taking forever to do. Epcot, though, they had to get all those dinosaurs out of there. Bill Nye and Ellen were hanging out in the back. They had to get them out of there. I mean, it's just a lot of work over there. So they got.
But last night, Corey asked if like Ellen and Bill Nye are going to be somewhere in the Guardians ride.
They need to do because if you ride Winnie the Pooh, there is this. If you look behind you in the one scene, you will see Mr. Toad with the deed. I think he's giving it to the owl. To the building place. Yeah. So I think you'd need some kind of a throwback to Ellen's Universe of Energy inside the Guardians somewhere. They need
so I don't know any of my Marvel characters very well, as you know, but
what are you talking about?
Like in Guardians, they had a lot of people with like purple or blue faces and white outfits and stuff like that, or like green. Isn't there one with green faces, or is that Avengers?
They're all the same.
Whatever. So, but like these alien type of creatures.
Well, Gamora's green, Nebula's blue. But then
I don't mean that. I'm talking extras.
Yeah, there's all kinds of people depending on what planet you're discussing. There's all.
I know what I'm thinking about. So, in Guardians of the Galaxy, there's the guy that collects all the trash, and he's got
the collector.
Yeah. And he's got purple face girlfriends, doesn't he?
Oh, they're more his workers.
Okay, so Ellen could be the one of the purple face workers.
And Bill Nye could come and play the.
And then put Bill Nye in a costume. See, it could totally work. Get animatronics.
There you go. We'll do animatronics.
All right, I think those are great.
Stupid Judy. That's all we need.
Stupid Judy.
Stupid Judy somewhere in there.
Oh my god. And a dinosaur. Just because,
have a stupid dinosaur named Judy.
Yeah, Judy the stupid dinosaur.
And have Bill Nye and Ellen riding the dinosaur.
Ooh, right? I think these are all great ideas. So you heard it here first, folks.
So when it happens, we want our
So when it happens, you're going to be like, they predicted that this was going to happen.
I predict none of this is going to happen.
I think it'll be more interesting, but what do I know?
It'll be a lot more interesting, but I don't think that.
So, all right. So, oh my God. How do these things happen?
I have no idea.
Okay, let's talk about Trails End, shall we?
So if you know Trails End, it's at the campground. We've talked about it many times. Before COVID, it was absolutely one of our favorite places to go because the cost was very affordable there. The food was excellent. It was a buffet back then.
It was a buffet.
And it was like home cooking type food. So you had brisket and turkey and chicken,
mashed potatoes, mac and cheese.
It was all home style, good cooking food. The cornbread was fantastic. That's still good. And like I said, it was a buffet. They had the cowboy chili and cowboy beans and all that other stuff.
Oh, you like their chili?
Their chili was good. The beans were always good. Even their pizza was good. And they don't have that anymore. It's done a lot now, like Whispering Canyon with the skillet.
Skillet.
Yeah. You want to talk about your skillet?
No, because I don't have anything good to say. No, let me just, again, like you just said earlier, I'm a fussy eater. There's a lot of things. I can eat off the kids' menu a whole lot better than I can off the adult menu.
But she doesn't eat pork at all.
No.
She tries not to eat beef.
Right.
And chicken has to be deboned.
I will not eats chicken on the bone. It grosses me out.
Grosses her out. I don't understand why boneless chicken costs more than bone-in chicken. It's got to be so much easier to catch a boneless chicken. They can't run around the coop. They're just laying there, not doing anything.
Really?
Yeah. But anyway, so she doesn't eat any of that, and she won't eat anything that has touched those things. So, for instance, last night they had little potatoes inside the skillet that were touching the pork, and she wouldn't eat them because they taste like pork potatoes.
Those potatoes were touching the pulled pork. I was not about to have it. Nope, not having it.
So the skillet contained
everything I won't eat.
Whole pork, bone-in roasted chicken, beef brisket, potatoes, green beans,
corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob, which was really good corn on the cob. Then you got the cornbread they brought out with the honey butter.
I ate that.
They brought out a salad. She had to have special dressing because the salad was a bacon-flavored vinaigrette, which I thought was pretty good. She wouldn't eat that. She had to have ranch. So they brought out the ranch. And then for dessert, they bring out there were 7 of us. They brought out 3 little mason jars, which are the same jars they used to drink out of different types of parfaits. There was a banana one, apple pie one, and a chocolate mousse one, I think was what they called it.
Something like that.
The food was not bad at all. I'm not going to say it was bad food. Just, it's not Trails End that I remember at all. Because none of this food, except for the cornbread, I don't think existed with Trails End. Maybe they corned it. I don't remember.
And when it was the buffet, like, you know, when it was the buffet, they had like the cold salads. They had, I would eat mashed potatoes and mac and cheese, and they had like the sliced turkey and sometimes soup.
They always had, one soup and then the
soup
chili.
And a chili, and the dessert.
Salad bar.
And they had, remember? They had a baked potato bar.
Yes, they did.
And they had like the cheese and the bacon and the sour cream, and you could make like your own loaded potato. There was a lot. I'm just saying there was a lot more when it was buffet.
And then the dessert bar, the cornbread was on the dessert bar, but they also had their strawberry shortcake, is what they were known for.
Yeah,
and they didn't have that.
Strawberry
banana
shortcake.
Pudding, which was really good. They had brownies and cookies, cheesecake bites, and all kinds of other stuff. And it was like $30 a person to go there
for lots of food. Ice cream. They had an ice cream machine.
Yeah, so it was one of those really good things, and hopefully eventually they bring back what it was. I would have thought they would have already started to bring it back, because the campground, it was a good place if you're staying at the campground to go eat. Because I know buffets are back in certain areas. Like Corey said, they had a buffet for breakfast. I can't remember where. Boma? No.
It was Boma that he didn't like. Yeah, he didn't like.
He didn't like the price, which is what he kept saying. He thought it was expensive for what he got.
Lucretia said it was good.
Lucretia said it was good.
But Corey said no.
Corey said no. So it's really up to what you like. Trails End, I'm hoping that the buffet part of it comes back. I don't see us going back until it does.
No, I mean, I liked it. If you're a picky eater like me, there's no choices. If you really enjoy smoked meat and stuff like that, then you'll love the skillet.
The brisket was really good. It honestly, I can't say it wasn't. The pulled pork was good. They bring you out 2 different kinds of barbecue sauce. They bring you out a Chipotle barbecue, and it was a Kansas City mustard barbecue sauce. Mm-hmm. Both of them were really good. Like I said, if you go to Whispering Cane, you have a choice of a couple different skillets. But for somebody like her, there was a vegetarian type skillet, but she just didn't want to ask for that part, I don't think.
Well, because everybody was eating their brisket and whatever, and I didn't want to be a pain in the butt because I already asked for the non-bacon dressing. Now, their salad was really good. They had cornbread croutons with it.
Lots of cheese in it, tomatoes, cucumbers, lettuce, cabbage, spinach. There was all kinds of different.
And even the ranch was good. So I'm glad. I mean, I had 2 because I wasn't eating anything else. So basically, I ate cornbread, salad, and corn on the cob. Their corn on the cob was really good.
She was like a fussy child who would eat it. And I still had to pay full price for it.
I didn't eat, and he still had to pay full price for my meal.
I know. She ate like what others had left on the plate. They didn't finish.
I tried.
I know.
I tried to eat that potato, but it had a very porky taste to it, and I'm like, no.
See what I deal with.
Yeah, I can't help it. I'm just not an adventurous eater.
Okay, so we're at 7:45.
Okay, we're gonna start talking about food. All right, so should we talk about announcements, or do you want to talk about?
We can do it. You know what? Why don't we talk about LOL first?
Okay.
And Cirque du Soleil. So this weekend, we've been talking about for a few weeks now. is our TMSM live on location from Disney Springs, and this time we are at Cirque du Soleil. It will be Michelle with her guest this time. Guest host is Lou Mangello from WDW Radio. Lou's a really good friend of ours. And him and Michelle are going to come live to you guys from there. So we will be, if you're not in the area, we will be showing the feed on Facebook.
4 o'clock.
But if you want to come out, there are still tickets available. We have plenty of room at this venue.
We have the whole venue.
So
they're putting us on the stage. So Lou and I will be up on the stage, the Drawn to Life stage. How cool is that? And then, so we have all the whole theater.
Decor of the theater. They're going to bring out somebody who is, I think they said either a show producer or director or something like that is going to come out and talk to them about the show, talk about some of the Easter eggs in the show, because there is a lot of them. And if you haven't seen Drawn to Life, it is a phenomenal show.
So good.
We're actually, the night before on Saturday, the 2nd, they're actually the 8 o'clock show. There's a link to where you can buy tickets to come see it. We're actually going to be there seeing the show on Saturday at 8. We already have a group that's going with us that's going to be there as well. But if you'd like to get tickets, the links are on Facebook.
Yeah, if you go in the event tab on our Facebook page. If you go under events, it's going to say Cirque du Soleil. And there's a link in the discussion for tickets if you want to join us on Saturday night for the 8 p.m. showing. And there's the tickets to reserve your seats for Sunday afternoon. Tickets are $5, only $5 to go into the Cirque theater to see Lou and I. And $5 gets you a raffle ticket to win a cool prize. So,
and we're not going to say, but we're hearing the raffle. Cirque du Soleil might be donating towards the raffle, so we're not sure exactly what they're donating, but I have a feeling it's going to be something really good. So you're going to want to come and check out the show. Sunday is going to be a lot of fun. If you've never been to a live on location show, they are a lot of fun. We do that very similar to how we run this. Like I said, it'll be Michelle and Lou on camera on stage.
On Sunday at 4.
Right. I'll be off to the side handling all the tech and making sure the show goes off without a hitch, which hopefully.
Let's hope, because it's a big one.
Yes, it is. But then, so we get set up. The doors will open at 3:30 on Sunday for the show. The show begins promptly at 4. It's over by 5. And then we usually stay around for a little bit talking and such.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Sunday after the show, maybe we'll go to the walk-up bar at Splitsville or House of Blues after, hang around a little bit.
Depends how cold it is. Because, you know, these people.
It depends on how cold it is. And I was thinking Saturday, if we're going to go see the 8 p.m. show, if you guys are coming to see the show with us, maybe we'll do the same thing. Maybe walk up to this. Or I'm thinking before.
Oh, we do it. And Beth, yes, Sunday live at 4 p.m. on Facebook Live. We will be broadcasting. It'll be on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube page. We'll be broadcasting.
And if you're local, just come hang out with us. It's for $5. You get a raffle ticket. It's going to be great.
You'll have fun.
You're going to see the inside of the theater.
Yeah, and it was a big deal for them to let us on the stage. They don't allow other people on the stage. It's a performer stage, and that's where the performers are. And it's they don't normally. And they voted. They had the cast actually decide if we could do the show or not on stage, and they agreed. So we're excited about that. We get to do that part.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
So make sure you come out. Like she said, all the links are on our Facebook page, so you can follow it there. And if you want to come out and hang out, we'd love to have you guys.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
Okay, so now we have 2 other announcements that have to do with 2023. So which one should we do first? I think we'll do this one first.
Which one? I didn't see where you pointed. Oh, sure.
Okay. So I know there's a handful of you on here who were with us. We in 2018 or 19? 19. In 2019, we did our very first TMSM fan cruise on the Disney Dream. It was great. We had a lot of fun, a lot of people. But since then we've moved along to a new sponsor, a much better sponsor who's taking care of us and our followers. And we're actually gonna, in 2023, we are doing the next TMSM fan cruise on the Disney Wish. So we're actually on the Wish. We're not gonna give you dates exactly what it is. It's gonna be in the first half of the year for 2023. We should have more information either tomorrow or the next day. Becky is working to put it all together for everybody. So what you'll be able to do is click on the link and you'll go right to MEI Mouseband Travel where you can request more information about it. Becky and her team will, of course, tell you. I know she's got some of her agents on here. I've seen their names pop up that will be able to help you with booking your room. You're going to have more time. Last time, I don't even think we had a year. So you're going to have over a year, right?
Yeah, so here's the thing. So for the fan cruise, we're giving you plenty of time this time. So Becky at MEI Mouseband Travel is going to How it's going to work is you put down a deposit, and then you're going to have a year to pay for it, basically.
Right. So, and from what I understand, it's 20% is the deposit you have to put down on your room. Then you have to, if for some reason you can't go, as long as you don't get to that last payment due date, she said that you can get your money back. After that due date. There are some penalties and fees you would have to pay. But Becky and her team will be able to explain all of that to you. We hope to have a landing page tomorrow to where you can go. You can put basic information, and then one of her team will contact you and help you get set up to be on the Wish with us for that cruise in 2023. So we're excited about it. She's really excited about the Wish because Rapunzel is on the ship, on the back of the ship, painting the name of the Wish and hanging out there. And then there's a lot of new shows going to be on that ship. The Little Mermaid show. There's a Ant-Man and Wasp dining experience on the show. We're gonna
Star Wars bars
on this ship. So there's a lot going to be on this new ship. It's going to be amazing, and we hope that you guys will consider coming along with us.
Everything we learned from the last time that we really want to fun it up, I guess you could say. And Becky and her team have ideas on how we're going to make this a blast. It's going to be like Party Week.
And Becky's been doing these for other sites for years. She's done many of them with Lou Mangello.
Yeah.
And they're always a lot of fun. Nobody gets off the ship saying they had a bad time.
No.
They really know how to do it up and make these a lot of fun for everybody involved. And then they'll be like, Becky's already said she's going to see about renting or reserving space on the ship for us to be able to do different events and such as. So we really hope that you guys will be able to take part in this. We think it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody. And it's the Disney Wish.
Right.
I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be at Castaway Cay at least one day during the whole thing to check that out and have fun on the island. So we should have more information on this hopefully tomorrow. Becky was trying to get it done today, and some things we just couldn't get it done before we went live. So we're hoping to release more information on it tomorrow, and then you guys can start getting information as far as if you want to go on it.
Yeah, so there'll be a spot where you can fill out information, and Becky and her team can get back to you as far as telling you all the details that you need to know.
I know, I so badly want to see dates and stuff, but it's like, no, we can't say anything yet. So you guys will find out more hopefully tomorrow. The cruise it's going to be a 4-day, right?
4 days, yes.
Yeah, we agreed on 4 days, so that's what it's going to be. So we had thought 7, but then we're like, 7's a long time, and it's more expensive. So we're trying to think of that in mind, that we can get probably more people to do 4 days.
It's going to be cheaper than the Star Cruiser. And
it will be cheaper than the Star Cruiser, and you'll be able to relax. Yes. So like I said, we'll have more information on. We'll probably put out a blog and Facebook information on that tomorrow the next day.
So please stay tuned. Make sure you're following Mainstream Mouse main Facebook page and get alerts and all that good stuff.
Yes, exactly. And then, like I said, I've seen some of the people on here who are Becky's agents who will help you, and you're going to want to book with them because then you can be part of our. It doesn't cost you anything to book with them.
No.
But
and anytime you book a Disney vacation or any vacation through MEI Mouseman Travel, there's a link on our page. It's all free, and especially for this cruise, you get extra bonuses and swag and stuff if you go through Becky's. She's going to be doing our event at sea.
Exactly. And like she was saying, you always want to book with them because if there's a price drop or anything like that, they take care of it. They fix it for you guys, and they help you out all along the path. So once we have it ready, we'll have links to put out there, and you guys can talk to them and see what you want to do. And hopefully many of you can come hang out with us for a couple days.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be a lot of fun this time. We're really excited about it this time. So.
Okay. And then lastly, we have another announcement. But these are vague announcements, and I fully understand
this one we don't have to be as vague.
Well, we can be somewhat vague because we don't have a date.
Yes. So through much encouragement, much pushing me to do this, House of Mouse Expo is returning for 2023. Hopefully in the first quarter of the year. It's not the same time as the cruise. We already know that.
No, it's not going to be. It's not going to be near the cruise.
Not going to be the cruise. But we're working on that. So we're switching venues. It's hopefully I don't want to.
Do you really want to? Do you want to?
I put it on my Facebook page.
Oh my God! But not everybody's Facebook friends with you.
Everybody's friends with me. But I'll just say that we're hoping it'll be at a new resort that we went and talked to them last week. It sounds really promising.
Bigger, better.
Bigger. We're going to have almost 15,000 square foot more space. We have a lot more people that want to be involved in it this time. We have more vendors who have been emailing us. They want to be involved. They saw how great it was last year.
Celebrities that want to be involved.
More celebrities, more experiences, we'll say it like that, coming with it. We're talking to a lot of people. A lot of wheels are spinning in a million directions right now to bring this together. But we're going to have more time to put this together for everybody. So we should hopefully have information on that later this week, early next week. And as soon as we get the date, we will make sure to put it out there, because we're begging for that date, because we need to do that to start getting the contracts out to the celebrity guests.
We have all the ideas. We just need to nail down a date with the hosting hotel, basically.
Right, and they're trying to get it all taken care of for us, but hopefully, like I said, we should have it either later this week, early next week, and then we can put that out there. But we just want to let you guys know to be on the lookout early 2023 for House on Mouse Expo.
The sequel.
The sequel. Part 2. So
we have such big.
We had a lot of fun last time.
And this expo is going to be like, we basically are taking everything that we learned, just like the fan cruise, and everything that we do, everything we learned from the first go around, which was amazing, by the way, but we want to make it even better. And I wish I could tell you all the ideas, but I can't. But soon, we actually have celebrities giving their input this time of stuff they want to do for our guests. And that's a huge thing, and it's a huge compliment to us that people in the industry are so excited about it. And truthfully, our Hocus Pocus friends were like the icing on the cake for him. I've been telling him that we need to do this again, but our friends from Hocus Pocus talked him into it. I'm chopped liver, but if they tell him that he has to do this again, apparently it works.
She's not chopped liver, but when I had Doug Jones telling me that was the best show one of his favorite shows he's ever done, and it's like, okay, that says a little something. Doug saying that, Jason's pushing me to do it, Tobias and Larry were both pushing me. Just anybody who I know that was part of the first one, they're like, Scott, you got to do this again. It was awesome, and it's only going to get bigger and better. So I honestly had given up on the idea. I was happy I did that one time. I was satisfied with that. My goal was achieved. But Chuck's been trying to get me to do it. Michelle's been trying to get me to do it.
Everybody's been trying to get him to do it. He's like, no, I don't want the stress. No, I don't want to do it.
So if the stress kills me this time, you guys have fun without me.
Yeah, well, so we'll be looking for volunteers when the time comes. We will be looking for advertisers. We will be looking for
partners who want to
partners.
sponsor.
We will be looking for. It's going to be bigger next time. Let's just say that. So if you guys thought the first House of Mouse Expo was a big undertaking and a big production,
it's bigger.
It's going to be bigger. So we're going to need your help.
And we had to go bigger. We had this last one. We had 13 celebrities. We had 750 people come to take part in it. We had 50 some vendors, and we're going bigger this time. And I just hope that we can keep. The biggest thing is getting the word out. The biggest thing is getting more people to know about it. We had so many people after the fact go, I didn't even hear about this. I didn't even know about it until they saw a friend post it, or they saw it on another one of our friends' websites that they posted talking about it. And they're like, oh my gosh, I want to be a part of this next time. We've had vendors who have reached out to us like, how did I not know about this? I want to be a part of the next one. They think it's going to be fantastic. The celebrity guests we've talked to so far, and the agents, they're all excited about it.
I almost feel like we'd be letting people down, letting the community down if we didn't do it again, because there's such a need for it.
Right.
And so many people, this convention meant a lot to people, the Disney cosplay community, the Disney fan community, right. Because all they have is D23 out in Anaheim, but we needed something here. And so, it was just something that I think was needed and overdue. And the fact that we are so blessed and honored that we get to host this for all of you. We're just going to need help spreading the word once we have all the details. But as soon as we have a date, we're just waiting on a date.
We really are
waiting on a date.
The hotel we're waiting on is actually closer to Disney, which hard to believe, but yes, we're even closer to Disney.
It's beautiful. It has a Starbucks in the lobby.
Starbucks in the lobby, like 4 or 5 restaurants in the hotel.
2 pools.
Wonderful pool, water park.
I
mean, if you watched our antics in the last week, you can kind of figure out where we were, because
you might guess if you watched where we've been.
Yeah, but it's just the hotel's excited to be a part of it with us. I think it's going to be phenomenal. We're just like I said, we're waiting on that date. She mentioned the cosplay Disney community, and I'll tell you a story. When we were in Jacksonville a couple weeks ago to see the guys from Hocus Pocus, we're walking around. People knew who we were. We're 2.5 hours from home. People are like, oh, House of Mouse, guys doing part 2. And one guy came up to us and he's like, "Hey, are you guys doing year 2?" We're like, "Oh yeah, we're talking about it, thinking about it, going down that road." He goes, "Oh, you don't remember me?" He goes, "I'm Maui," and he pulled down. And he showed his tattoos. He was the Maui cosplayer.
He won our costume contest,
yes.
but he didn't look like Maui. He had glasses on and a ponytail, and he was pushing a baby stroller.
And he had his tattoos covered up, so we didn't realize it was him. But he was telling us how the Disney cosplay community doesn't really have a convention that's
for
theirs.
them.
MegaCon is here, but it's not really centered around Disney. It's centered around all fandoms, and Disney kind of gets jumbled up with everything else. So they were excited because there was finally something that all these Disney cosplayers come together and do their Disney cosplay, and people appreciate what they take the time to do because they spend a lot of hours and a lot of money to create these costumes for very little recognition.
Right, and he's like, you guys don't even know how much the Disney cosplay community is counting on you guys to do this again. So that was another thing.
I know, that wasn't putting a little bit of pressure on us, like, oh crap, okay.
But you know, but I'm walking behind him going, told you so. And it's like, it was really a good thing that everybody kind of backed what I had been saying. So we're doing it again.
Yeah, they did. So it's going to be great. When Doug, Larry, Tobias, and Jason were all pushing me that we had to do it again, that was another like punch. And then their agents are messaging, "Hey, are we doing it again?"
Are we doing it again?
It's just so many people want to be involved in this time. And I think because the word did spread after the first one, that's why so much more is coming out. So hopefully we're going to surpass last year's numbers by far. We got a lot more time to plan it this time. We got a lot more ideas.
Big things in the works, a lot of plans. So I really hope that once the word everything is definite and we can share details with you, that you help us spread the word. And we'll have a sign up for volunteers, and we'll be looking for just other people to help with this, because it was a lot of work last time. It's going to be even more work this time, but I really feel that it's going to be worth it. So, and
the greatest compliment I got was from one of the agents who's been doing this almost 30 years, and he came up to me towards the end of the weekend and he goes, "Scott," he goes, "for this being your first show, nobody would ever know it." He goes, "I've been doing this all these years," and he goes, "You've surpassed many of the 5-year shows with the planning that you put into it and the organization you put into it, and just how everything came together and how pretty much everybody was happy with the weekend." And he was so impressed with what I did. And he told me, he goes, "Whatever you need moving forward," he goes, "You've got it." He goes, "You've got my support no matter what." And that's a lot coming from an agent, because these agents, they're out there to get their clients out there, but to give me the push that I needed to hear really helped me. And the same with Neri, who's the other agent. Neri's really pushed me and always told me that they've got our back and they're going to help us whatever we need to make this thing successful. And I'm very proud to call all these guys friends and the guests friends, that they're there to help us and make it better. So stay tuned. Hopefully by next Monday we can give you guys a date.
I'm praying, because I'll tell you what, God is testing my patience, because I am just waiting, and I know that patience is not my strong suit, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, just give us dates, please. So
so hopefully, like I said, hopefully by next Monday, because we'll have to do a recap from the weekend. So it'd be great to do the recap Monday for the weekend, talk about House of Mouse, talk about the Fame Cruise, because we can get into more details. So we got lots coming up in the next 7 days.
God willing, we'll have even more to share with you next week. I'm praying that that's the case, because again, my patients are just shot. I'm just so stressed out.
I talked to the hotel today. They're still trying to work it, but they hope by the end of this week they can give me the actual dates. So
everybody pray. So I guess that's it for this week.
That's it. Yeah, we went a little bit over. Sorry. We get passionate about things we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, we talked about it. I was worried that we weren't going to fill this hour because my notes were so small this time, but apparently we did pretty good. We did good. So thank you guys so much for watching, as usual, for supporting everything we do. It means the world to us. It honestly does. That you guys take time out of your week to sit here and listen to us ramble for an hour just means a lot. It really does. And again, don't forget, this Sunday at 4 o'clock, we will have a live broadcast from the stage of Drawn to Life. And I really hope that if you are in the Orlando area, that you actually come and see us on location. Join myself and Lou Mangello at Cirque du Soleil on Sunday. And again, event tab on Facebook, you'll find all the information. Yep. So have a great week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As more information, watch tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have the cruise information. Hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have the House of Mouse information. And stay tuned. Hopefully see you at Cirque du Soleil. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great